Juracek as TCU tries to play it up the right side. Hubbard with it. Hubbard with a run now to the center of the field. Cut off and a big hit. And that will be a free kick here for TCU. Big contact as Hubbard was spilled.
Great push forward by Shaylin Hubbard. That's something that TCU and Coach Eric Bell love to see. She definitely has the ability to get into that attacking third and become that surprise element in the Horned Frog offense. She definitely did it here, and even making a diagonal into the middle. Good opportunity for the Horned Frogs in the free kick.
And that was specifically something that Coach Bell told us earlier this year he'd like to see from her. They want to see that added aggression from Shaylin Hubbard on full display there, and it now creates an opportunity here for TCU on the set piece. It'll be Yasmin Ryan to take it. Drafted the NWSL draft earlier this year. Crosses the middle, headed down, another opportunity, and it's in! TCU leads! Olivia Hassler heads it down and in, and the Horned Frogs with a 1-0 advantage.
Amazing cross by Yasmin Ryan, looking into the second post. And like the rule says, 2 headers in the box is going to end up in a goal. Amazing, amazing job by the Horned Frogs. As we take a look at it again, Yasmin Ryan, beautiful curler. Gracie Ryan, Olivia Hassler, 1-0 Horned Frogs.
A great touch by Gracie Bryan to help set this up. Playing it back and Hassler there waiting.
That's what you want with those kinds of balls. You want someone to get it on the second post and be able to put it back in play, and that's exactly what Gracie Bryan did. It seems like Amber Lockwood hesitated a little bit to go up for the ball. Great opportunity for the Frogs, and great job by Olivia Hassler to be in the right position, right place, right time, just to put it in.
So now, as we've talked about the differing styles of play in this game, if Oklahoma State wasn't already going to be aggressive just by their own nature, now that ratchets up even more so.
Yeah, now Oklahoma State is going to have to push forward a little bit more. They won't be able to be that passive as they've been before, just waiting for TCU and like giving the initiative to the Horned Frogs. Now Oklahoma State is going to have to go all the way, maybe be a little bit more aggressive on the ball to find more opportunities forward, because right now it's been all TCU on the ball.
And by contrast, TCU, if they weren't already possession-oriented and looking to maintain that ad nauseum, now that also dials up more. They're even more inclined to play it back to Juracek, to reset, to play it through the back, and then just eat time.
Yeah. And also Oklahoma State, since they're gonna be taking more risk, it opens the door for TCU to find more direct opportunities on the counter as well.
Here. Nice play by Hannah Webb to run it up the left side. Had an opportunity, but nobody home.
Yeah, Oklahoma State needs to put in more people in the box because TCU is defending with numbers. They're doing a really good job at getting back. Peyton Cruz is dropping back really, really fast, making it really hard for Oklahoma State to have the advantage once they push forward.
TCU has only trailed on 2 occasions in this entire season. One of them was to this Oklahoma State Cowgirls team. And today, though, they take the lead.
I think, Mike, at that moment that TCU trailed last fall, that was one of the things that made the game so difficult, because it just fit in like a glove into Oklahoma State's style of play. Now it'll be different because Oklahoma State will have to take that initiative.
Hubbard up the right side for Grace Collins. Nearly ushered out of bounds. It will be a goal kick for Oklahoma State.
Like I was mentioning before, Mike, right now TCU is a possession-based team, but last week against Oklahoma, we saw 2 goals, one coming off a counter and another one coming off of pressure up in the attacking third. So TCU will be able to have a lot of those opportunities, having Yasmin Ryan, having Messiah Bright, having Grace Collins, capable of getting behind that back line and making things really difficult for Oklahoma State and their defense.
As you saw just a moment ago, just the second goal of the year for Olivia Hassler, but it comes in a big spot in a big game here as the regular season is winding to a close. These 2 teams trying to position themselves as best as possible going into the NCAA tournament.
Yeah, TCU winning this game would probably be its best shot at getting a first-round bye for sure. They're a conference champion, so they're definitely in, but giving them an easier path to the title. This is what all this game is about for TCU.
Turnover here as Oklahoma State takes it back. They give it right back. Gracie Bryan coming to the near side for Hubbard. Now for Collins, the Big 12 Player of the Year in the fall. Offensive Player of the Year.
And we haven't gotten a chance to see a lot of that matchup between Grace Collins and Hannah Webb, but that's definitely one of the premier matchups in this game.
I think you could argue that the fact that we haven't seen much of it is evidence that at least so far, Kim Rodriguez has been able to get the better half of TCU.
Yeah, and that's the thing with Oklahoma State lineup and their shape. They have three center backs at back, but with Hannah Webb and Charmaine Morgan being the two wing backs, they are able to get those 2-on-1 positions against the TCU offensive players. And Grace Collins really hasn't been able to show that explosiveness. Neither has been Yasmin Ryan, except one run we saw her down the left wing. But that shape that Oklahoma State has allows them to kind of have a double barrier to when TCU's players are going to push forward.
Yeah, Hannah Webb, not Kim Rodriguez, of course, although Rodriguez is also a very key piece of what Oklahoma State does defensively. Big 12 first team in the fall, also an All-American.
Also plays for the Mexican national team, Kim Rodriguez.
As well as Emily Alvarado of TCU. Contact in the box there, and that's going to go against the Horned Frogs.
A slight push by Messiah Bright. Easy call for that foul.
I'm not sure Allie Jackson would say slight.
Yeah, probably not. Probably not.
Another look at the contact here as Jackson hit the deck. Little forearm.
Messiah Bright, a really, really strong athlete. Definitely, Allie Jackson would not think it was slight. Gotta correct on my part.
Jackson, a player that Coach Carmichael says is really their organizer in back. As much as Kim Rodriguez is the All-American, the one that gets a lot of the fanfare, he said Allie Jackson is the one that keeps everybody in position, in control. She's always hollering out instructions to everybody around the defense. She is the driving force of what they do defensively from a schematic perspective and just from an overall leadership perspective as well. She's a huge piece for them.
Yeah, definitely, and that's what you have to do when you're playing in the line of three at the back. That middle center back has to be that leader, has to be that organizer, because they have the best angle at what's going on in the field.
Gracie Bryan ahead to Collins. They play it back now for Shaylin Hubbard. Hubbard with some space, fires, and too high.
Seems like Oklahoma State just was daring her to shoot. She shot with her off foot, ended in being a goal kick.
So 1-0 TCU. Olivia Hassler finishing it off on a set piece from Yasmin Ryan. Gracie Bryan with the header across the front of the goal mouth to Hassler, and Hassler was able to head it in. And TCU with a 1-0 lead at the 27:15 mark here of the opening half. And now the Horned Frogs will possess the ball as much as they possibly can for the final 65 minutes of this game.
And I'm starting to see, Mike, a little bit of Oklahoma State's wingbacks just being a little overly cautious because they don't want to give that space to Grace Collins and Yasmin Ryan. They are not pushing as forward as they usually do because they know the threat that those two offensive players pose.
Mm-hmm. Quickly back to the action here for TCU, with the officials slow it down. Emily Alvarado with her hands to the sky like, what? Let them play. Our officiating crew, Marco Antonio Vega, the head official, saying things got restarted a bit quicker than they should have been. Now it goes to Gracie Bryan over the middle. She'll fire right into the waiting arms of Amber Lockwood.
Yeah, not a complicated ball for Lockwood. Kind of mid-height. She just had to take a step right. Easily controlled that ball.
50-50 ball played forward here for TCU. And now back to Gracie Bryan. Hubbard back to Bryan. Now ahead, an opportunity here for Messiah Bright, trying to split the defense and sliding in to make the stop is Lockwood, but a whistle. And an opportunity here for TCU.
The question is, Mike, was a foul in the box or outside of the box? Right now, the referee seems to have called it outside. Let's see if we can take a look at a replay.
Yellow card.
It is a yellow card. The foul certainly appeared to begin outside the box. I think accurately called.
Yeah, the push was definitely outside. Messiah Bright with a head of steam fell inside of the box, but another great set piece opportunity for TCU. We'll see if Yasmin Ryan, who seems to be the one who's going to take the free kick, decides to go for goal.
Kiana Simon, the freshman, taking the yellow card. And from just outside the 18, Yasmin Ryan and Grace Collins lined up together.
Yeah, definitely a clear yellow for Kiana Simon. She stopped a really, really good opportunity for TCU. It was a foul she had to take.
A 5-person wall here. Ryan tries to kick around it and scores. Yasmin Ryan curls it in, and TCU leads 2-0.
What a strike by Yasmin Ryan. Beautiful curler.
Yasmin Ryan with a goal in her second consecutive game, now 5 on the year, and nothing that Amber Lockwood could do on that one.
Yeah, she really didn't have to give it much height. The ball didn't jump, so that really helped her put the ball through. Beautiful curl. Unstoppable for Lockwood. TCU goes up 2-0.
The Horned Frogs with 6 shots so far in the day. Oklahoma State yet to record a shot. It has been a rather dominant opening 25 minutes here for TCU. Back at Garvey Rosenthal Stadium in Fort Worth, Texas, Mike Leslie and Andre Giamatti here with you. TCU with a 3-0 lead at halftime. Andre, a dominant first half from the Horned Frogs.
Yeah, definitely, Mike. It was unlike anything we expected. 2 of the top teams in the nation. We thought it was going to be very much an even matchup, but so far it's been all TCU.
And in no surprise, Yasmin Ryan instrumental in the way that this first half went for TCU.
Yeah, Yasmin Ryan, she's been picked number 6 in the NWSL draft for a reason. And there you have her putting the ball at the far post, headed in by Olivia Hassler.
Hassler with the first goal, 1-0 TCU in the 18th minute, and then Ryan scoring again, a beautiful ball here on the set piece.
Yeah, she put the right spin on it, great height, really unstoppable for Amber Lockwood.
Then Oklahoma State started to create some opportunities. Forced Emily Alvarado to make a brilliant save there. A nice ball here from Charmaine Morgan that Kim Rodriguez put off the far post. They started to create a little bit of opportunity for themselves, but they weren't able to capitalize. And then back comes Yasmin Ryan again, setting up the leading goal scorer in the Big 12. Grace Collins puts it in the back of the net.
Yeah, it seemed like the Cowgirls were going to fight back, but TCU got rid of that notion really quickly with that goal by Grace Collins. So it'll be interesting to see what we see in the second half.
First half stats, there it is right there. Shots, 13-3 the edge for TCU. That tells the story right there. The Horned Frogs were in possession of the ball for almost the entire first half. Only that one little flurry for Oklahoma State where they got all 3 of their shots. Other than that, it's been all Horned Frogs.
Yeah, and like those 13-3 shots really, really tells the story because Oklahoma State is really a team that's comfortable not having possession of the ball, but they usually have more shots than this because of that offensive firepower that they have on the counterattack. This time, they haven't really been able to go.
These are 2 teams that are trying to set themselves up for the NCAA tournament. TCU, of course, already locked in thanks to their Big 12 title. Oklahoma State almost assuredly in themselves. Both of them trying to improve, though, how they look to the selection committee so that they can make their path through the NCAA tournament and carry North Carolina that much easier.
Yeah, this result looks great on paper for TCU. Like if they didn't have a first round bye secured by now, they most likely will after this amazing performance. For Oklahoma State, this can only hurt them, and they need to fight back. They need to show that they still have something left in them so that they can have a really, really good opportunity to have a good seeding in the tournament.
This could have been a matchup of maybe the 2 best goalkeepers in the entire Big 12. Emily Alvarado leading the conference in goals against average. Emily Plotz, the usual starting goalkeeper for Oklahoma State, second in the conference at 522 goals against average. 2 fantastic goalies, but Plotz hurt today. They were trying all week to get her back healthy. Not quite 100%, so she's not playing today. As we talked about before the end of the half, the effort from Amber Lockwood in the first half was good. A couple of those goals, there's not a whole lot she could have done about them. But still, you'll wonder if that makes any impact in the game.
Yeah, of course. When you have your second-string goalkeeper, you're obviously thinking whether that impacts or doesn't impact the game. And Emily Plotz being such a great goalkeeper that she is, obviously it's easy to take that train of thought. But honestly, Mike, like I was telling you, I think maybe the first goal, overly critical. She could have punched the ball forward.
Yeah.
But aside from that, she's been solid.
As you can see here on the screen, though, they certainly have the firepower to come back in this game. The two leading scorers in the Big 12, Grace Yoakum and Olivia Dow. Grace Collins climbing that list with her 6th goal of the season just a little bit ago. But Oklahoma State with all the firepower they could ask for to try and make a comeback here down 3-0 as we start the second half.